Let's go ahead and talk about the October 14th, 2025 episode of WWE NXT. So, yeah, we kick off the show with the first segment of the night. It was the NXT champion, Ricky Saints. He comes out there to the ring and he starts calling out the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, or former TNA World Heavyweight Champion at that, Trick Williams. So, yeah, that's what Ricky Saints was calling out there. And, yeah, we see Ricky Saints wanting to call him out and have a match against him at Halloween Havoc for the NXT Championship because of Trick Williams walking out on their team last week on NXT. So, yeah, that's why Ricky Saints wants to call him out and get a match against him, because he wants payback on Trick Williams. But then Trick Williams pops up on the big screen instead of coming out to the ring, and Trick Williams was talking about how, that Ricky pretty much wants him to become a 3-time NXT champion, and he says that he will do that, but it's going to be on his terms and on his time. So, yeah, that's what Trick Williams was saying there. And, yeah, then Ricky Saints was pretty much mocking Trick after that part, and then he says that he's going to burst that little bubble and that he's in his fantasy land and all that stuff, and he says that he's going to beat the hell out of Trick. So, yeah, that's what Ricky Saints was saying there, sending a message out to Trick Williams. But then, after that, we get to the next segment of the night where we see Javon Evans and Leon Slater talking backstage, and they was talking about how much they came close by beating each other. Javon Evans was talking about how he came pretty close to beating Leon Slater up until Dark State went interfere in the match at Bound for Glory, and then Leon Slater was talking about how he was the one that came pretty close by beating Javon Evans. So yeah, that's what he was going back and forth on, but then all of a sudden we see the TNA World Tag Team Champions and NXT Tag Team Champions, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. They come up in there, and the Hardys was talking about how pretty much they've been having Leon Slater underneath their wing and all that stuff, and how they see so much potential in Leon Slater and Javon Evans. But then they was talking about how they're going to be facing Dark State at Halloween Havoc for the NXT Tag Team Championships in a rematch. And then Javon and Leon Slater was talking about how they got the Hardys back if they need it. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment there. But yeah, up next it will be Matt Cardona versus Josh Briggs one-on-one up next on NXT. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was the first match of the night. Actually, it was Matt Cardona versus Josh Briggs one-on-one. In this match, it was a pretty good one. Matt Cardona tried to do everything that he could do to try to defeat Josh Briggs. We see him hit the broski boot onto Briggs, and then he hits the Pretty Her onto Briggs as well. He pins him 1, 2. Briggs barely kicked out at 2. Then, after Josh Briggs kicked out at 2 after the Pretty Her, we see Matt Cardona hitting the Rough Rider onto Briggs. He pinned him again, but then Briggs barely kicked out at 2 once again. So yeah, Josh Briggs kept on fighting through in this match. At one point, he has a chokeslam onto Matt Cardona, and Matt Cardona kicked out at 2 from that. But then at the ending, we see both guys hitting the ropes, and Briggs coming back fast as hell with a big boot onto Matt Cardona, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Josh Briggs defeated Matt Cardona tonight on NXT. That's what happened there. Pretty decent match though. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, pretty good match between Matt Cardona and Josh Briggs. That was the first time for Matt Cardona being on NXT in almost 10 years. So yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, pretty good match. But then after that, we see Lyra Valkyria talking to Hank Tank and Chase U backstage. And, they was all hyping everyone up and all that stuff. And then we see the Colleen coming up. Actually, Lyra Valkyria was actually looking for Tatum Paxley, and then she spots her. And then that's when the Colleen comes up, and the Izzy Dame and them getting in the way. So that's what happens once again with the Colleen getting in the way of Lyra Valkyria. Izzy Dame was talking about how the Colleen is going to go after the NXT Tag Team Championships next, since Hank Tank done lost their rematch. So yeah, that's what she was saying there. But up next, it will be Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Lexis King one-on-one up next on NXT. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was Hill Dell, Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Lexis King in a one-on-one match. We get to this match, and this match, it was a pretty good one. It was back and forth and everything. Lexis King was doing pretty well up against Dr. Wagner Jr. in this, but then Dr. Wagner Jr. starts coming back at the ending. Now, obviously, Lexis King kept on going after Dr. Wagner Jr.'s leg a lot of times in this match, but then Dr. Wagner kept on fighting through, clocking Lexus King upside the back of the head, and then he hits the Michinoku driver onto him, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr. defeated Lexus King tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened there. Pretty good match, though. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars as well. Give it was a pretty good one. But then after that match ended, we see Dr. Wagner Jr. grabbing the mic and he starts calling out Ethan Page. And then, yeah, we see the NXT North America champion, Ethan Page. He comes out there, and Ethan Page, and it looks like Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr. will be taking on each other for the NXT North America Championship, because that's what Dr. Wagner Jr. wants, to face him at Halloween Havoc in a Anything Goes match. So yeah, that's what happened there. Ethan Page accepts. So yeah, it looks like that match is now made official for Halloween Havoc. But then after that match and everything, we get to a backstage segment where we see Zarya and Sol Ruca getting ready, and Zarya will be in a one-on-one match tonight, so she needs Sol Ruca into her corner and everything. And then Sol Ruca was getting ready as well. Zarya asked what she's got going on, and then Sol Ruca was talking about how she's in the Battle Royale tonight to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. She wants to go after it, and Zarya is getting all upset, and she says that she don't need that many titles. So yeah, that's what she was saying. They're getting all upset with Sol Ruca, and then they walked off. But yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on NXT, we get to the next match of the night, but before we talk about that match, we're going to talk about a couple of segments. So yeah, we see a promo package with Fatal Influence and Lainey Reed, and it looks like Lainey Reed is now officially part of Fatal Influence. So yeah, that's what happened there. After that, we see Ava and Santino Marella talking to Javon Evans, Leon Slater, and so many others. But while they was all talking, all of a sudden we hear in the background about Ricky Sainz getting attacked from behind by Trick Williams backstage. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we get to the next match of the night. It was Zarya versus Blake Monroe one-on-one. This match, it was pretty good for the most part. Zarya was doing pretty well up against Blake Monroe, and then at one point Blake Monroe grabbed a steel chair and she was about to hit Zarya with it, but then we see Sol Ruca come running down there, and she gets up on the ring apron grabbing the steel chair, pulling it out of Blake Monroe's hands, and then the referee is distracted by Sol Ruca and all that stuff now, and then we see Blake Monroe grabbing a hair pick, and then she got picked up on Zarya's shoulders, but then Blake uses the hair pick to the neck onto Zarya, and then that's when Blake Monroe hits the beauty shot onto Zarya, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Blake Monroe defeated Zarya tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened there. Pretty good match, though. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars as well. Give it, but yeah, Blake Monroe picked up the victory tonight on NXT. But then after that, we see the NXT General Manager Ava in a promo package, and she says that the men's tournament for the Speed Championship will now be starting next week on NXT. We're going to be seeing Axiom taking on Sean Legacy, and then we're going to be seeing Zachary Wentz from TNA taking on Jasper Troy, and winner of that tournament will be going on to face El Grande Americano for the NXT Speed Championship for the men. So yeah, that will be officially happening now. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was Hank Walker and Tank Ledger versus Aura Connors and Kel Dixon with Andre Chase at ringside. Chase U versus Sean Spears and Nico Vance, the Culling in a triple threat tag team match. So yeah, we get to this match. In this match, it was a pretty good triple threat tag team match for the most part. Everybody was going at it back and forth and everything. Hank and Tank was doing pretty good. The Culling was doing pretty good, and Chase U as well. And everyone was going at it and everything. And then we see the Culling get taken out of the ring and all that with Chase U. And then it looked like Hank and Tank was taking control of this match up until we see OTM make their return, coming out there attacking the Culling, Chase U, and Hank and Tank tonight in the triple threat tag team match, and leads to a no contest. So yeah, it looks like nobody has won, but yeah, the OTM has returned tonight to lay out Chase U, Hank and Tank, and the Culling tonight in the triple threat tag team match. But yeah, for that match, I'll give it 2 stars as well. But yeah, that's what happened there. Then after that, we see Sol Ruca backstage. Zarya comes out the doctor's room, and then Sol Ruca was talking about how she apologizes to Zarya and everything for what's been going on. And then she says that that she has been a little bit selfish, like Blake Monroe has said, and she says that she wants to give up her spot in the Battle Royale to Zarya. So yeah, that's what she says there, and Zarya says thank you. So yeah, it looks like Zarya will be in that Battle Royale tonight on NXT. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the main event. It was a 20 women's Battle Royale. Winner of this match will be the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship and face J.C. Jane at Halloween Havoc for the title. See, that's what this match is all about. We get to this match. There was a bunch of people in this one. Victoria Crawford, Jordan Grace, Zarya, Ariana Grace, Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, a bunch of people in this one. Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, formerly known as her. And yeah, so many people was in this match. Jada Parker, Thea Hell, so many. But yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was pretty good for the most part. I think Ariana Grace was like the first one to get eliminated in this match. During this match, we did see Sol Ruka cheering on Zarya. She was at ringside, but then she gets attacked from behind by Blake Monroe, getting thrown into the barricade and beaten down. And Zarya was up there on the top turnbuckle, so she decides to go over the top rope and eliminate herself to help out Sol Ruka, even though that was pretty stupid because she could have got down, went underneath the bottom rope, and helped out Sol Ruka without getting eliminated. So yeah, she eliminated herself. Not even gonna lie, that was the dumbest thing I ever seen in this match. But yeah, we see other people getting eliminated in this match. Lash Legend was trying to help out Jakar Jackson at one point. They both got eliminated. Jada Parker got eliminated at one point by Lash Legend actually during this match, and she starts attacking, I forgot who it was, outside the ring with a hypnotic on her. And then we see security try to stop her and everything. And then Lash Legend got thrown over the top rope onto Jada Parker and the rest of the security, getting eliminated by a bunch of women inside the ring. So that's what happened there. But then we start getting towards the ending of this match, the final three: Jordan Grace, Tatum Paxley, and Izzy Dane. And we see Izzy Dane eliminating Kayla Gray at one point. And then she goes over there and she clotheslines Jordan Grace over the top rope, and both of them got eliminated by the momentum and everything. Tatum Paxley was holding Jordan Grace, but she moved out the way at the last second, and that's how she won the match. So yeah, Tatum Paxley won the 20 women over the top rope Battle Royale to become the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. So she'll be facing J.C. Jane at Halloween Havoc. J.C. Jane and all of them was standing out there staring at the ring, and then we see Lyra Valkyria running past Fatal Influence, and she gets into the ring hugging Tatum Paxley, all excited for her. And now outside the ring we see Izzy Dane not too happy about that. So yeah, that was the ending of NXT. Pretty good match show for that match. I'll give it 3 stars as well. It was pretty good. I would say that was match of the night. Great for Tatum Paxley to win the match and now go on Halloween Havoc to face off for the NXT Women's Championship. But yeah, pretty good stuff for tonight's NXT. I'll give it 7.5 stars as well. I'll give it a pretty decent episode. But yeah, that has been my NXT reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on all my social media accounts. I'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's AEW Dynamite reviews. See you guys later. Till then.